The government is actively considering winding back the legislated Stage 3 tax cuts, despite repeated campaign commitments to the policy. Despite the income tax cuts not commencing until 2024, the Treasurer and some Cabinet colleagues are using the current global economic situation as justification for the possible backflip.
Less than 3 weeks away from the first Albanese government budget, the Labor Party is divided over whether applying a 30% flat rate to all earnings between $45,000 and $200,000 is responsible.
But can you confirm that you're in active conversations about making adjustments to those Stage 3 tax cuts?
I'm telling you, and as you say, it is factually correct. We haven't changed our position.
Yet.
We are finalising a budget where we are looking across the board at a whole range of decisions, and we are being upfront with the Australian community.
Are you prepared to make that change?
Well, that's a hypothetical question.
After economic chaos in the United Kingdom, when new Prime Minister Liz Truss sought to cut its top tax rate, the Treasurer is framing their market freefall as a cautionary tale.
We do need to ensure that spending in the budget, particularly in these uncertain global times, is geared toward what's affordable and sustainable and responsible and sufficiently targeted. I think that's one of the lessons from the UK.
But some Labor MPs are worried the winding back of this policy promise.
We're committed to delivering what we said we would. And I've said on the Stage 3 tax cuts that they've been legislated.
Would see the new government punished by the electorate.
We've made promises, and I think that we need to stick to them. These are not rich people. These are people that are working hard.
The internal fight, fodder for Peter Dutton. The opposition says the government should keep the cuts and instead ditch its other election commitments.
There's an internal brawl going on within Labor at the moment about whether they adopt or drop the Stage 3 tax cuts. Now, the Treasurer is trying to find a slippery path out of the tax cuts. They've already been legislated. They're due to come in 2024, and the Treasurer is trying to draw an equivalence with what's happened in the UK over the last few days. There is no comparison to be drawn.
Next week, the Treasurer will travel to Washington to meet with US Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell and officials from the IMF and World Bank to discuss what the world's deteriorating economic outlook could mean for Australia. Before returning to Australia for his October 25th budget, which could prove make or break for tax reforms legislated under the Turnbull government back in 2018 and proving to be a political headache more than 4 years on. Joel Phillips, Sky News, Canberra.